Here is the digital dual zone air fryer from Statesman. It's got an 8 litre capacity. Before we talk any more about it, let's get it unboxed. So before we get stuck in looking at the dual zone air fryer from Statesman, thank you for everyone who has returned to watch another YouTube video. If you haven't watched one of my YouTube videos before, then welcome. We do product reviews like this one. We also do a weekly vlog that we've been doing for around 70 weeks now. So at the end of this video, if you think I've deserved it, please consider subscribing. So today we're going to talk about this dual zone air fryer, a product that has been gaining popularity over the last few years, not just the Statesman, but the market as a whole. It's becoming very popular. The Statesman one's only just arrived with us, so I thought I would unbox it and have a look and see what features this machine actually has. So to start with, what is a dual zone air fryer? Well, a dual zone just means it has two baskets, so you can cook two different dishes at the same time. And this particular model is an 8 litre capacity, which means each basket has a 4 litre capacity. But this is a great time to mention that these baskets are actually dishwasher safe. So yep, you can literally put the whole thing in the dishwasher. Now, it does state in the instruction manual, do not put it above 50 degrees Celsius. I'm assuming that could harm some of the plastics, but they are dishwasher friendly. Plus, you get the baskets, you also get 2 crisper trays. So these go in the bottom of the basket. So they have to go the right way around, so you can see in the middle, just there, that is a little bit raised, so I'm assuming that'll be easier for you actually to pull it out. And obviously don't touch any of this bit when it is hot. You've got your handle, and don't clean anything until it is nice and cool. But you've got the rubbers around the edge of these metal crisper trays, and that is, I'm assuming, so it doesn't mess up the non-stick basket. And that goes in like that. And we'll put the other one in as well. And just gently push that down. They are a firm fit, and there you go, that's what it looks like inside your baskets. I'll just show you one more thing on the basket, so you can actually see there's a little button just here, and that pulls this lever up and down. So if you see me just insert them back in, now you do have to get them the right way round. So there is left and right, so an L and an R on the actual basket. So make sure you get them in the right way round, and make sure when you're pushing them in, you do push it all the way, because if it wasn't completely shut, like that one isn't, it wouldn't work. It has to click in like that. But you can't just pull these out. You do have to press that button that I just showed you. So press down, and then you can pull the basket out. So something to note just before we actually have a look at the settings on the air fryer. If you look at the top, you can see that we've got this rectangle here. This is actually where the airflow comes in to the air fryer. And if we look on the back, you can see you've got these bits here. That, I'm assuming, is just where you can put your cable when you're not using it. Also kind of stops it butting up against the wall, so it gives you airflow around. But if you look in there, that and this side, you've got 2 grills, and that is where the airflow comes out. Make sure you don't cover this. I know a lot of people with their microwaves at home, they just put stuff on the top. Do not do that, it will not work properly. So make sure the air can get around your air fryer. If you want to know the dimensions for all this, I'm going to put it in the description of the video, along with the link which will take you to the website, so you can actually look in more detail or buy one. Now let's have a look at the actual main control. So let's plug him in. You can hear a beep as soon as it turned on, and it's actually got a sticker over here. What I'm going to do is bring the camera closer so you can actually see what we're doing. So here's the display. You can see we've turned it on, and we've got a standby light. So if we press that, it is now on. And along the top, we have air fry, roast, broil, bake, reheat, dehydrate, keep warm, and French fry. So they are your main settings. And for the majority of people who buy this, it's mainly, I guess, for the air fry, but these are all the other things you can actually do. So the other icons on here, you've got your temperature up and down. You've got an L and an R flashing, so that way for the left and the right basket. You've got your play pause button, your sync. So what the sync is, it'll actually allow you to control both of these at the same time. But say this one needed to be on for, I don't know, 30 minutes, and this one needed to be on for 20 minutes. If you click sync, they'll finish at the same time, which is really cool. you've got a shake option. So if something needs shaking, say French fries or anything like that, it will actually remind you that you've got to undo the tray, give it a bit of a shake and put it back in. You've got your dual cook and then your plus and minus for time. So if I just run through quickly what each setting means. So your air fry, this is the mode that can be used for meats, fish and vegetables, and it's best used with the crisping racks. Now, I think I called them trays earlier, but they mean this bit here. Make sure you use them, and they call them crisping racks. You then got your roast setting. So this is for your joints of meats, your whole fish, potatoes or vegetables. Broil. Now this is another word for grill, so it's great for steak and fish. You've got your bake just there, and that's ideal for pastry, cake and biscuit making. Your reheat does what it says, so it'll reheat any food. Check your food is hot all the way through before serving. You dehydrate, that is for fruit and vegetables to crisp. And then you keep warm is if you just need to keep food warm for longer after cooking. So that function can also be used to defrost foods. And again, check food is hot all the way through before serving. And your French fries at the end, that is just a quick mode for cooking chips. So let me just try and explain how these actually work. So you can see the air fry is flashing. That means that's the setting we're actually on at the minute. If I clicked on roast, then that is now flashing. And you can see the left is flashing, so that means we're working the left tray. Now, the sync button is what I said before, they'll end at the same time, but the dual cook button means if I press that, it will actually set both baskets to exactly the same. So it'll be the same temperature and the same time if you want to do a dual cook. So say you just wanted, I don't know, loads of French fries, you could put your French fries in there and it just gives you both baskets for your French fries. Right, so let's carry on and look at some of the other settings. Because I've pressed dual cook, I don't just press dual cook again and it gets rid of it. I actually have to press the left or the right button. So if I press the left, you can see it's now cancelled off the dual cook and we're just working on the left side of the air fryer. So I want air frying. I'm going to say my temperature is going to be 20 and my time over here, let's put that up to 19. I now want to do the right side. So if I press right, the right will start flashing. So now we can choose anything along here. Again, I'm just going to say air fry. So you can see this is now flashing, but the left side isn't. The left side is set to 20 degrees at 19. This, we can have whatever we want. So if we want the temperature down a little bit, say at 16, and we'll say 15 minutes. That is all set. You can see it's saying shake, so that will let you know that that will need shaking every few minutes. And now if I want to start it, I just press play. And you can see they're both counting down and they'll end at different times. So this one started at 19 minutes, this one started at 15 minutes. So they'll end, then they end, but it's not going to be at the same time. So let me just stop that. When you stop it, it does go through a cooling down period. So I just want to show you the sync function. So if I press sync, I can now set whatever I want. So again, I'm on air fry. I'm going to go up to 20 and the time to 12. And then if I press the right side, just there, we'll keep it at 19, we'll keep it at 15 minutes and the sync is flashing. So if I press play now, you can see that this one, the one that's on for longer, has started, the other one hasn't started yet. So as soon as it gets down, this one gets down to 12 minutes, this one will start and then they'll end at the same time. So that's really covered the main features of this air fryer. Now in the instruction manual, it does give you the cooking modes table just there, and it's quite good because it tells you the default time and the default temperature for each setting, so it is worth reading the manual. And while I'm on about manuals, what actually comes with it is this little notice here, and so it says, important, before cooking food for the first time, please reheat to 200 degrees for 5 minutes. This will allow for the protective coating of oil to burn off, and it's normal for smoke and smell to appear, so make sure you do that if you do buy one the first time you use it. And what I did want to mention is that they actually give you a recipe book, which is pretty good because I've never used an air fryer before and I wouldn't know what to cook, what I wanted to cook first. So they've actually give you some recipes. So just to run through a couple of them, you've got Santa Maria ribeye, you've got air fried whole chicken, fried chicken, grilled cheese, barbecue, bacon, chicken tikka drumsticks, and the list goes on. And this is just free inside the the box with the air fryer. I've got to say I'm really impressed with the Statesman air fryer. It's the first one I've seen by them and I do like it. Now that is going to be on display in our shop, so if you have any questions, please do let me know in the comments and hopefully I'll be able to help you. So if you have liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. And if you're new here, why don't you have a look at our first vlog that we ever did? Quite a while ago now, but that will keep you up to date with what we're actually doing with the shop. And why not binge watch the whole of my vlogs?